won't cave under pressure. I go on for days. Make you believe me, you better pray. Born-bred overcomer, I can't be contained. When it's all or nothing, make no mistake.
What we have here today is the latest version of the most popular super bike ever to be sold in India. This is the 3rd gen Hayabusa, and it turns out to be so popular that the first batch of 101 units was sold out in India in just 2 days without anyone having even seen what the bike looked like. So the question we're here to ask today is, does this new version deserve to continue receiving the hero worship that the brand has got in India all these years? This is the biggest update that this legendary motorcycle has received since it was born in 1999. There are many details that you'll want to know about, and we'll get to that in a bit. But first, let's address the biggest talking point, and that's the fact that the new Busa makes about 7 horsepower less than the bike it replaces. The Hayabusa was always a bike about mind-blowing excess, and it would definitely have been cool for it to pack some mental 240 horsepower power figure. But Suzuki decided to take the rational approach here. This engine displaces the same 1340cc as before, but it's been heavily reworked with new pistons, connecting rods, camshafts and more. The result is a motor that produces a still staggering 190 horsepower and 150 Newton meters of torque. If you can ignore the noise from all the angry keyboard warriors, you'll see that despite the drop in power, Suzuki claims that this is actually a faster accelerating bike than the one it replaces. The Hayabusa will still hit an electronically limited top speed of 299 kph, but the company has made up for the loss in top-end power with more low and mid-range performance. And that is exactly what makes the Busa so very special. You just don't need to rev this bike out. The thing with those 1000cc superbikes that rev up to 14 and 15,000 RPM is the fact that the real fun only starts upwards of 6,000 RPM. But with the Busa, you can stay under 5,000 all day long and still be carrying a really brisk pace. In fact, with the long, low and heavy nature of this bike, it puts its power down incredibly well. It's less prone to pulling big wheelies under hard acceleration, and I have no doubt that this is still one of the hardest, fastest accelerating production superbikes on the planet. There are now plenty of bikes out there that claim similar or even higher top speeds, but the Busa is quite unique in its brilliantly smooth yet immensely powerful mid-range performance. In fact, this is one of the few superbikes that I've experienced that doesn't feel frustrating unless you rev it out. It can actually be quite mellow and enjoyable even when cruising at a gentle speed, especially in the lower power mode. The engine sounds great too, with a deep and snarling intake sound that is typical of a big Suzuki inline-4. While the engine is very smooth, there are some mild sensations to be felt in the handlebars, seat and foot pegs at different RPMs, all of which add to the sense of character. What goes so well with the Busa's immense but effortless speed is its improved ride quality. The old bike was never uncomfortable, but the new one has really become quite plush. It glides along smooth roads beautifully, and although the ground clearance is quite low, we managed to get it over some pretty sharp speed breakers with no contact so far. If for some reason you decide to take the bike off the road to avoid a nasty traffic jam, the Busa is happy to play along. And when you eventually do get stuck in a traffic gridlock, you'll find yourself dealing with a rather heavy clutch and a bike that starts to feel very hot. Happily though, the cooling system works just fine and the engine doesn't actually overheat. So yeah, the Busa seems willing to take on pretty much anything India can throw at it. Another reason for the Busa's appeal as a road bike is its riding position. Now it is still sporty and committed, despite the fact that Suzuki has moved the handlebar a little bit closer to the rider. Then again, it's definitely not as committed and uncomfortable as a track-focused superbike. There's a lot more room on offer. It's not so extreme forward down. And short riders will love that low seat. But for someone tall, these foot pegs are really high, and after a few hours of riding, they will cause some cramps. The versatility of this hyperbike has also been improved by a brand new electronics package. The Busa now packs top-tier IMU-aided rider assists, including 10-level traction and wheelie control and 3-level engine brake control. As before, the bike has 3 power modes, but it now also gets 3 user customizable riding modes. Additional features include a 3-stage launch control, cruise control, hill hold, a programmable speed limiter, and a new bi-directional quick shifter that works quite well but is a little clunky at lower RPMs. The bike also gets a new TFT display in the middle of its iconic 5-pod instrument console, and the snazzy lights at the front and rear are now full LED. While the Busa gets a huge upgrade in the electronics department, Suzuki left the chassis and swing arm alone, although there is a new rear subframe. With the same chassis, it comes as no surprise that the Busa continues to be an amazing handler considering its sheer size. It definitely feels cumbersome at parking speeds, but once you pick up a little pace, the Busa is easy to ride and turn-in on corner entry is surprisingly sharp for a bike this big. In fact, the steering now feels even more responsive, but that just might be the effect of the impressive new Bridgestone S22 tires or the tweaked handlebar position. Regardless, the bike stays remarkably composed at high corner speeds, but the luxurious suspension does start to feel a little bit soft when you really push hard. However, it is adjustable at both ends, so you should be able to find a setup that suits your riding style. The international spec Busa has lost 2 kilos, but in India, government mandated things like that neatly executed sari guard and that horrific looking front number plate holder have brought those 2 kilos back. And yes, there is absolutely no getting around the fact that this bike weighs just 2 kilos less than a fully fueled BMW 1250 GS Adventure. And while it is shockingly agile for its size, there's always a tremendous sense of inertia with a fast-moving Hayabusa. And that's why one of the most appreciable upgrades with this new bike comes in the form of the brakes. With its new Brembo Stilema calipers and 10mm larger front discs, the braking performance has really improved. And that's a good thing because with the old Busa, you could never really trust the brakes to keep up with the fearsome performance of the engine. These ones work far better. Again, this bike weighs about 60 kilos heavier than your typical 1000cc superbike, so it won't stop as aggressively, but it will stop. So the new bike is more versatile and it rides better than its predecessor too. While this is a more subjective matter, we also happen to think that it looks better. The iconic Busa edge-shaped aerodynamic silhouette is still in place, but the added sense of edginess and aggression brings a more modern feel. The rear end with that expensive accessory seat cowl looks particularly handsome, although it's funny how the Busa can make even a 190 section rear tire look quite small. Be aware though that this is a massive attention magnet and there will always be a bunch of camera phones pointed at your motorcycle. Quality levels are pleasing, and this is the sort of bike that will fill you with a great sense of joy when you stare at it parked in your garage. Of course, there is no such thing as a perfect motorcycle, and the Busa has a few niggles. For example, the stylish new mirrors look much nicer than before, but the view they offer isn't good enough. Navigating through all those electronic rider assists on the display isn't a very straightforward process either, but I'm sure this is something that owners will eventually learn to do. The India spec Hayabusa doesn't get the position lamps on the side because our regulations necessitate that the position lamps and the indicators must be separated from each other, but on the Busa, they both function from the same unit. Another point is that the accelerator also feels quite heavy and this can get tiring, but the cruise control system helps out on long highway rides. Then there's the fact that your forearms will hit the fuel tank when the handlebar is at full lock. This reduces the sense of confidence while taking U-turns, which is quite important on a bike this big. Another aspect to consider is that the Busa hides speed like few other motorcycles can. You've got a relatively comfortable riding position, lush suspension, amazing wind protection, and when you factor that in with an engine that produces explosive yet effortless performance, this bike can get you into trouble very easily. And that's why it's so important to remember that the Busa demands not only an experienced rider, but also a responsible one. If you think you're that sort of a rider, you will adore what this bike has to offer. It comes across as an improved motorcycle over its predecessor in almost every manner. And while it also costs about 2.7 lakh rupees more than the old Busa, I think the price is justified. The 2021 Hayabusa has no direct rivals on sale today, but it is priced around the likes of bikes like the Kawasaki ZX-10R and the Ducati Panigale V2. Honestly though, it makes for a far more enjoyable sports bike on our roads than either of those two. This may no longer be the world's fastest motorcycle, and there are certainly better high-speed tourers or out-and-out sports bikes available today. But the Suzuki Hayabusa continues to exist in a unique realm of its own, and if anything, I think it has an even stronger sense of appeal today. What a bike this is!
I'm the greatest of all time. I'm the greatest of all time. I'm the greatest of all time. I'm the greatest of all. I'm the greatest of all. I'm the greatest of all time. I'm the greatest of all time. I'm the greatest of all time. I'm the greatest of all. I'm the greatest of all.
Okay? One second. Sweat in the eyes. What we have here today is the most... Another reason for the Busa's appeal as a road bike is the riding position. It is still sporty and committed. Sorry. Too much mugging up has happened today. This 2-month gap from doing video, no, not good.